Because I think that I am the best opportunity that you have.
Best opportunity? You think I have it? The best opportunity? Ooh, you think I see you like opportunity?
Things are about to hit the fan. Not just for Luke and Madeleine, but for all of our couples in this week's episode of Love in Paradise. Prenups, cheating rumours, life insurance policies, and to top it all off, meddling friends stirring the pot. Let's jump straight into this week's recap. Starting off with vile Kyle and Ani.
My best friend Steph has been listening to me talking about Kyle for the last 7 months. And I'm so grateful that she's here. Cheers.
So the last we saw Kyle and Ani, Kyle, in a rather unconventional move, thought it would be wise to cushion the fact that he's been sleeping with other women by presenting Ani with a clean bill of health on the STD front. Now, Ani, in the meantime, completely oblivious to his trip to the clinic, was seeking perspective on their relationship from her best friend Steph, who's come over to Malta from Germany. And now it's time for Kyle to meet Steph face to face for the first time. But in classic Kyle fashion, he immediately makes things very awkward by diving headfirst into the topic of his hobby.
Nice to meet you.
Me too. Are you from Germany?
Yeah, she's from Germany.
Two Germans. Did I tell you I actually have a German kid? Does she know I get people pregnant? Like, I do that?
Kyle, are you for real? What the f***? And yes, of course she knows about your pregnancy fetish. It's literally the only thing that you talk about. I highly doubt Ani would have overlooked and forgotten to tell her that little tidbit. Now, surprisingly, Annie's friend is unfazed. Either that, or she's just putting on the stiff European upper lip. She decides to soldier on with the evening, and she casually asks Kyle why exactly it is that he prefers to do the private method of sperm donation. Why don't you go to a sperm bank, she asks.
Sperm banks are very clinical because at the end of the day, it's just a number on a vial and you have no idea where that sperm is coming from. But with me, it's on a deeper level because you actually get to connect.
Honestly, what emotional trauma has this man suffered that makes him think what he's doing is deep, is forming an emotional connection? You're ejaculating, Kyle. You're being used for your sperm, and the only reason women presumably come to you is because you offer your services for free. Like, please correct me if I'm wrong, but surely that's the only appeal of his service. Now, on that topic of connection, Kyle makes a point to clarify that while he has a connection with all of the ladies he's donated to, he says, all of those connections are dwarfed by what I have with Ani. What we have is different, he claims.
We have this, we have this.
What we have, this one.
Spiritual connection.
We have a spiritual
Yeah,
connection.
we have like a little...
Yeah, we have that.
I'm working on myself.
The irony, the sheer audacity of claiming that you have a spiritual connection after you've just cheated is honestly too much to handle. Like, seriously, who's he trying to convince? Himself or the rest of us? Because it sure as hell isn't working on us. But, for some strange reason, I don't know what voodoo magic spell is cast on them, but both Ani and her friend believe in him. Believe in this relationship.
There are lots of questions you have to figure out still, but I think you fit really well together.
Really?
Are we a sexy couple?
Yeah, you are.
Oh, okay.
Seriously? What? I don't know who needs to hear this, but if your best friend thinks that Kyle's boyfriend material, you need to reevaluate your friendship. You need better friends. Like, one creepy declaration that you're soulmates shouldn't be enough to win people over. Trust in actions, not words. But, unfortunately, now that her friend has just given Kyle her seal of approval, all of Annie's worries appear to have magically disappeared. In fact, she's left feeling optimistic about their future.
Maybe I have been thinking of my relationship with Kyle from the wrong perspective. Like, maybe I'm not wasting my time. Maybe there is still something good coming out of this.
And armed with this sudden misplaced confidence, Ani goes back to Kyle's place. And after some very awkward attempts by Kyle to seduce her,
What do you mean?
That's not comfortable, like, for me.
Okay.
She actually ends up in his bed.
I feel my heart is telling me to stay the night.
Now, I can cuddle with you.
I hope I don't regret this.
Jeez. I just hope for her sake that Kyle's STD test comes back clean. Now, over in Brazil, Shawn and Alliya are over the moon about their engagement. But Alliya is stressing out about her financial security. How am I gonna survive in the States? She asks.
I will be in his house and I will not have a job. I will not have my own money. So I will be totally dependent, and that's really scary.
Yeah, look, it's completely understandable that Alliya feels this way. After all, their entire relationship over the last 3 years has been long distance. So it's only natural for her to feel this nervous before making such a big move to the States. Now, they've opted to spend the day celebrating their engagement with Alliya's friend Jackie, who clearly doesn't hold back when it comes to asking tough questions.
Will you make sure that she's taken care of as well?
Oh, I'm sure. I mean,
Do you have enough life insurance policy, Shawn?
Jeez. Okay, right. So look, it's good that Alliya has such a supportive friend, but this is the day after their engagement. They have just invited you out to celebrate with them. Come on, Jackie, read the room. Maybe just delay this conversation for another day. Let them just enjoy the romance of the situation before you bog them down with deaf admin.
it's not been the first thing on my mind to worry about my imminent demise the day after I got engaged, if you don't mind.
Look, I understand that Jackie's trying to be there for Alliya. I understand that she's not afraid to ask the tough, probing questions. Something that maybe Steph could also learn a thing or two about. But it does feel like she's jumping the gun a bit. Now, personally, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, but I think it shows a lack of class. It's very tactless to just straight up imply that someone might be about to kick the bucket soon. There's a right and a wrong way to go about that. There's a right and a wrong time, and there's also boundaries that I don't think a friend should cross. Is it any of her business? Surely it should be Alliya asking that question, and Shawn seems to think the same.
What would give you the feeling that I would screw over or discard her? I find it inappropriate, and I feel like I want to put Jackie in her place.
Yeah, I'm with Shawn on this one. Now, just for clarity, I'm sure that Jackie means well. She's just looking out for her friend. She just wants to shield Alliya from any potential problems down the road. She doesn't want her to be in another country, in an alien country, completely dependent on someone. But from what we've seen of Shawn, he really doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who's going to take advantage of that mismatched power dynamic. He's hardly the domineering type, and he steps in to reassure Alliya that they're going to be just fine.
So in our experience of 3 years, do I say, I don't care what you say, I have the money, I have to say you do it my way, or no?
What more can Shawn do? Seriously, he's shown that he's more than committed to their relationship, hasn't he? He's been there for her. He's stood by her side during some of the toughest times in her life, during her transition, during a point in which someone who's not committed would have run a mile. I just don't get the impression from him that he's gonna change just because they move to the States. But who knows, I might be wrong. Now, from Alliya's perspective, her worry is that after years of striving for independence, relying entirely on Shawn is gonna feel like she's losing the autonomy that she's worked so hard to achieve.
For the first time, I feel like I have power, and I'm afraid moving to the US and being financially dependent of Shawn will take away some of my power.
I think Alliya might be getting caught up in her own thoughts. I think she might be over-analysing the situation here. I get it, it's scary, a lot of things are gonna change, but it seems to me like she's defaulted to worst case scenario. I wonder whether Alliya's cold feet might present problems, might be a hurdle on their path to marriage. Now, on that topic of hurdles, over in Colombia, Luke and Madelein are attempting to patch things up after their big prenup blowout by going salsa dancing. Now, G'd on and encouraged by all of the random strangers' support, Luke and Madelein appear to be reconnecting, but we all know that their journey so far has been far from smooth sailing, and unfortunately, tonight proves to be no different. Madelein just can't shake off the lingering tension that remains after the prenup discussion.
We have true love, but I still thinking about the prenup. I don't know where we're gonna go from here.
Now, I'm not sure if we've seen enough of their relationship yet to comment on whether or not that first part of her statement, "we have true love," is actually correct. Like, not to be a Debbie Downer, but from everything we've seen so far, it seems like a very unhealthy relationship. There's a lot of red flags on both sides, but it is interesting that Madelein's questioning their relationship. She doesn't know where they're going from here. And while having those thoughts, an unfortunate incident brings her crashing back to reality. You see, Luke accidentally breaks her ginormous nail.
I told you every day be careful with my nails. Be careful with my nails. When you gonna to change?
Madelein really has a spoiled, bratty side to her, doesn't she? She's got a fiancé who literally foots the bill for everything. He's literally paid for her to open up her own beauty parlour, meaning she can get her nails done at any time for free. Yet here she is overreacting about an accidentally broken nail. It's a lot. It's only a nail, Madelein.
I don't think I did anything wrong other than dance maybe incorrectly.
Anything wrong? What the is that?
Now, when we join them the next day, Luke and Madelein have opted for some glamping at the very spot where they apparently got engaged. They're hoping this will continue to reignite the flame between them.
I want to believe all the bad things is behind us, and this trip will be about us love.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Madelein, but the storm clouds haven't yet cleared. Not only do you guys still have that tough prenup conversation looming large, but now there's also another bombshell. You see, Luke reveals that his friend Brian has some gossip about Madelein that he insists on sharing face to face.
About 6 months ago, there was a rumor going around that Madelein had hooked up with another guy. She denied it, and I chose to believe her.
So with that in mind, Luke says, I'm very nervous to hear what the rumour is this time. Yikes. That thought is clearly playing on his mind. Perhaps that's why, just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, Luke decides that now's the perfect time to reignite the conversation about money and a prenup. A prenup is a non-negotiable, he tells her. I still don't trust your true intentions.
Because I think that I am the best opportunity that you have.
Best opportunity? You think I have it? The best opportunity? You think I see you like opportunity?
Look, here's the thing, right? Regardless of Madelein's flaws, and Lord knows she has many, but regardless of those, this isn't how you talk to someone that you love. This is seriously belittling, it's seriously disrespectful. If he really truly thinks that she's treating him like an opportunity, which I don't know, maybe she is, but if that's what he thinks, he shouldn't be marrying her. That's not what you say to someone you supposedly love, that you're meant to trust. It's crystal clear that there is no trust, and I don't think Madelein can come back from that.
If he think I stay with him like opportunity, what is the point of this relationship?
I agree with Madelein's perspective here. Look, the prenup conversation is certainly fair and valid. It's something that they need to have, right? But, and this is the important point, Luke's the one that chose to get engaged to someone significantly younger than him. He's the one that chose to foot the bill for everything. If he's now feeling insecure about the very arrangement that he created, well, that's on him. That's entirely his own fault. At this point in their relationship, he knows Madeleine. He knows her character, he knows how she is, and he knows the rumours about her. Frankly, he needs to take accountability for his own actions instead of trying to shift suspicion and blame onto her.